Right, good morning and welcome. In today's video, I want to look at how to set up multi-currency processing on QuickBooks PRO. Before you start using multi-currencies, you have to set them up. If you remember in our previous video on company preferences, where we were customizing our company file, we got an opportunity of selecting the home currency. We selected the home currency. We did that via edit preferences. Then we came to multiple currencies. Then on company preferences, that's where we selected, where we chose our home currency, which is the United States dollar. This is a reporting currency. In other words, this is the currency in which our financial reports, income statement, balance sheet, cash flows are going to be presented. So we selected it via this. Now, besides the home currency, in a multiple currencies environment, we have other currencies that we'll be working with. Like in Zimbabwe right now, we are able to transact in any other currency locally and internationally. So we have to set up those the multi-currency processing so that we are able to do that. Now, after having done this, we now have to set up the exchange rates. Now, how do we set it up? We come to lists. Then we come to currency list. So when we come to currency list, we are presented with all the currencies of the world, starting from the Afghan. Then this is the symbol. So basically here you've got the currency description, then you've got the currency symbol, then you've got the exchange rate if it had been set. Then you have the date at which that exchange rate is set. But you see, as I said, you've got all the currencies of the world. But we're not going to be working with all the currencies of the world. Like in this tutorial, we want to focus on the Zimbabwe dollar and the United States dollar. We've set up the United States dollar as the reporting currency, and the Zimbabwe dollar will be the foreign currency. We want to see how do you set up the exchange rate on the foreign currency. Now, as you can see, we've got all the currencies of the world. So if we were if you've got all these currencies, you may not necessarily want to be viewing all these currencies and then scrolling up and down to look for a particular currency that you want to work with. If you've got a currency with an X here, like what you see here, it means that currency is inactive. If a currency doesn't have an X, it means that currency is active. So if you only wanted to see those currencies which are active, you have to come down here. You see, you have to come here and remove this tick against include inactive. As long as there is a tick there, it means all the currencies, even those which are inactive, will be shown. So if you just wanted to see currencies which are active, you just have to take off the tick there, right? You will remain with those currencies which are active, the United States dollar and the Zimbabwe dollar. And remember, our home currency is the United States dollar. Our foreign currency in this case is the Zimbabwean dollar. So we do not set up the exchange rate on the home currency. The home currency is already okay. It's 1:1. Right. We set up the exchange rate on the foreign currency, in this case, which is the Zimbabwean dollar. So for you to set up the exchange rate, you just have to double click. Right. When you double click, you're taken to this window where you are shown the description, the name of the foreign currency, the Zimbabwean dollar, the symbol, the format that it will use. If you want to change, you can just click on change format, but in our case, you don't want to change. Then here you've got the calendar, right? For you to set up the exchange rate, just have to come here, right, and select your date. But before you do this, you have to calculate your exchange rate using a calculator. So we're going to load up the calculator and calculate our exchange rate. In this case, how are we going to calculate our exchange rate? One, we have to have the current interbank rates or rate for the Zimbabwean dollar against the US dollar. Currently, okay, for this purpose, we can just use $1 is worth 929 Zimbabwe dollars. So we're saying $1 is worth 929 Zimbabwean dollars. Now, for us to find the exchange rate, we just have to say 1, then divided by 929. Right. So this will be our exchange rate. In other words, 1 Zimbabwean dollar is worth 0.001 to the nearest cents, United States dollar cents. So this is our exchange rate. So basically we just copy this, minimize our calculator, come here, and then we just right click and paste the exchange rate. Then here we have to select the date at which we are setting up the exchange rate. So we're setting it up as at 9 April. So we have set up our exchange rate. So daily we can actually go day by day, set up the exchange rate depending on the changes that have happened. And once we are okay, once we are happy, we just click on okay, right? So basically this is how you set up the exchange rate. In this video, we have just shown you how to set up the exchange rate. Right, you'd find the exchange rate is used on creating the exchange rate is such. The foreign currencies or multiple currencies are used on creating customer accounts. You see it how we do that when we create customer accounts. Also used on creating supply accounts. We also see that, and you also see how the foreign currency or the multiple currencies are used in transacting. In this series or in this video, we just wanted to show you how to set up the exchange. This can be done daily depending with the fluctuations which occur with the exchange rate. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Thank you.